For those of you that watch all my videos, this is going to sound really redundant. For those of you that pick and choose based on how interesting the product is, I'm sick, which is why I sound like this. Sorry. RGB mousepads are kind of silly. You pay a lot of money for what is effectively a $20 mousepad at the most, plus some lights that do nothing in terms of functionality, unless you have a problem coloring inside the lines. When big brands like Razer and Corsair started releasing their RGB mouse mats, other companies followed. Monkey see, monkey do. Enter the Baboon King from First Player, an RGB monkey pad that will still cost you a bit of a premium, but it won't break the bank. The Baboon King is a bit smaller than my Corsair MM800, coming in at 352 by 250 with its highest point reaching just about 10mm. The play surface is a micro-texture cloth finish which feels almost like a really fine felt. Around the bottom you'll find 5 black rubber pads so you know your monkey will stand firm, and lastly you'll find a 1.8 meter braided monkey tail with a USB connector at the end. Now we all know monkeys can't drive, can they? And this one doesn't need to. As a driverless RGB mousepad, you can simply plug it in and get started. The spider logo sitting towards the top is a touch controller allowing you to cycle through 9 color modes and off. The first effect is Rainbow Breath, which effectively acts like a color shift that cycles through the spectrum. Next you get the static colors of red, purple, blue, cyan, green, and yellow. After that you get colorful marquee, colorful flowing, and off. In my usage, the surface was interesting. There were no problems with tracking regardless of which mouse I used, but I did notice more resistance than usual. Between my Reflex Labs mouse mat, my Corsair MM800 cloth pad, and this one, the MM800 is the easiest to glide on, with the Baboon King requiring a little more force, and the Reflex Labs pad falling right in between. It's not a huge difference, but it is noticeable. It's not necessarily a bad thing either. You might like the smooth sailing on Corsair's surface, or perhaps you like monkeying around with something that fights back. But of course, with a name as mischievous as Baboon King, we're bound to run into some monkey business. The lighting is nice and even, and given how simple it is to set up, it leaves me little room to complain. Though I will note that the colorful marquee and colorful flowing effects aren't as smooth as I would like. Personally, I don't get RGB products for rainbow effects, but for the option of using any static color I want, so that's not a huge deal to me. What is a huge deal to me is that sometimes a bundled mouse cable can actually trigger the touchpad, which messes with my mojo jojo. Annoying? A bit. Does it affect performance? Not really. But this stupid metal top piece does. If your mouse cable is routed above this piece, you'll probably find yourself getting caught under one of these little wings that seem to serve no other purpose aside from aesthetics. While this was also an issue to me on Corsair's mousepad, at least theirs is angled upwards so you'd only feel resistance instead of the Baboon King, who will grab your mouse's tail and never let go. What a bully. A solution to this would be to rotate the mousepad to either side, but then you've got awkward logos and less horizontal space to work with. It's not a perfect solution, but it may bother some of you less than others. At $25 US, it's competitive with pretty much every other budget-oriented RGB mousepad on Amazon. While there are a few things about it I think could be improved, the pricing isn't too shabby. So does the integration of RGB put the boon in Baboon King? Or is First Player Woo King for love in all the Kong places? I have so much trouble figuring out if that's clever or just stupid. So that's all I have to say about that. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, share, leave me questions if you've got them. Thanks for watching. My name is Steven and I am ALittleDIMM. Bye bye. Enter the Baboon King from First Player, my mouth clicked, allowing you to cycle through your 9 color modes. No, I didn't write your. Why'd I put your? Or perhaps you like monkeying around with something that fights back. A bundled mouse cable can actually... My leg hurts. I don't know why. So that's not a huge... I messed up. You'll probably find yourself getting caught under one of these little wings that seems to serve no purpose other than... Oh, I messed up again. But this stupid metal top piece does. If your mouse cable is routed above this piece, you'll probably find yourself getting caught under one of these stupid little wings that's... Oh, I said stupid twice. That's how stupid it is, because it's just dumb. Why put it there? What's the point? Pretty much every other budget-oriented RGB mousepad on Amazon. At $25 US on Amazon, it's pretty much... What did I... my nose stings. Or is First Player Woo King for... Oh, that is weird to say. Woo King for love in all the Kong places. That doesn't flow as well when I say it out loud. Put the boon in Baboon King? Or is First... I asked my friend if this line sounded stupid or clever, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. so that doesn't really help me.